Carl, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Doing good. I guess we'll start out by first kind of explaining what Restoration Academy actually is. You are an accredited school. You're just not a part of the Alabama High School Athletic Association, correct?
I'm glad you said that because I think there was some rhetoric yesterday. I think it was on the round table. They were talking about the young man being sent to us. That's not the case. Students apply to be here. Yeah, we're accredited through Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, and parents send kids here for a variety of reasons, but most of all because our kids go to college. 5 years in a row, 100% of our kids have gone to college.
Wow.
Some on athletics, some on academic full scholarship. So we're very serious academic institutions. So kids, again, they come here for a variety of reasons, but we're about them being successful in life as a believer and also academically, so they can do well.
I guess our first question is, I hope you're at liberty to explain this, but how long was this particular student-athlete at Restoration Academy before he went to Clay Chalkville? Yeah,
let me also say we play in the Alabama Independent School Association against schools like Bessemer Academy and Kingwood and other schools that you guys are aware of. So that when you say non-member, we do compete, but it's in the AISA.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that's a big question, and I'm going to be kind of circumspect with what I say and don't say because some of this is private student information, and so I would do this for any kid ethically, litigiously. So what I will tell you is that the young man was we're on a semester system. The young man was not here for entire semester. He was here from early January to early April. He does not have complete grades from us.
Okay. Now, our understanding is when he was expelled from Huffman that is a 1-year suspension, and then we've also heard that if you're in good standing at the school, the last school that you were in, that you would be in good standing going to the next school. How does that work, and how does Restoration Academy fit into that scenario?
Yeah, again, I can't get into his reasons for coming or leaving. That's private student information that the parent would have to relay to you. So I can't really go there about his standing, coming or going.
Uh-huh.
But I can tell you, when he was here, he never played football for us. This was second semester in January, and then he departed sometime in early April.
As far as the issue of what's in a student's file, we're hearing different reports that discipline issues may or may not be in a file. It is maybe etiquette-wise up to the school that suspended that player to notify the next school. Is that how that works? Are we understanding that correctly?
Well, let me tell you what we do. And I would be surprised if other schools don't do this. We have a full disclosure form that actually reads that you have to turn over the student's academic, disciplinary, and social history. And we actually have the other schools sign off on that. And that's not just for eligibility for football players. That's so you know the type of kid that's coming into your school. And so, when we have a parent, we actually make the other school sign a form for full disclosure. So we can call the principal, we can get necessary documentation. And I would be surprised that other schools don't do that. And I don't know. We're not a public school, so we have some advantages, concerning privacy laws and what have you. But that's certainly what we do because we want to know what we're dealing with up front.
Carl, in your opinion, who dropped the ball here? Was it Huffman not reporting this kid? Was it the fact that perhaps he was asked and didn't disclose the fact that he was suspended? Was it Clay Chalkville for playing a kid and not looking in and investigating his resume a little bit more closely? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Tony, you're trying to make me some enemies, but I'll try to just say from my end, if I was in Clay Chalkville's situation, I would be blaming myself. Because when a kid comes here, the onus is on me to collect the information. I always tell our administrators, look under every rock. Let's find out all the information before we make a decision. And I can't imagine another school not doing that. What I just told y'all was he did not complete a semester here. Now, is he a senior this year? If a child comes in, they've not completed a semester from the other school, just that documentation alone should cause that institution to say, whoa, wait a minute, what are we dealing with here? We've got to investigate further.
If Clay Chalkville's 5-4, not 9-0, do we even hear about this, and how often do you think this happens?
Do you hear about Cam Newton if Auburn won successful middle of the year?
Great point. We talked about it yesterday. You're
yeah,
exactly right.
I agree. I think there is some vendetta here. I hate it. I don't like this situation. I don't like it for the young man. Michael is a kid. As a staff, we gathered around and prayed for this morning. Prayed that during this time he'll recognize his need for Jesus, because this is very hard on him and his family, as well as the whole community. So to answer your question, I don't think it comes out if they're not 9-0.
And I totally, Carl, get what you're talking about as far as Clay Chalkville. Do you think that through their due diligence, I just can't imagine that they didn't look into some of this. Could it have just been that they were led down a path? And at that same point, if it's you and you're dealing with another school, you know something, do you make that call a little bit early on, or do you make that call at all?
Make that call if a child is trying to get in our school?
No, if you know that a competing school is, do you make that call early to the school and say, look, the kid's, has been suspended. He's not an eligible player. Just giving you a heads up. If you play him, then I'm going to go ahead and report you, because it's the best thing for me to go ahead and do that on your part. But I would think from your standpoint, you just wouldn't play the kid.
Right, exactly, from our standpoint. Now, as a believer and someone that tries to be just ethical, if someone was in the AISA that I had knowledge that a kid was playing for that was ineligible, we would make that call, and the first call would be a friendly call.
Right.
Hey guys, this we're aware of this. If y'all deal with it, we don't have to go any further here. We would definitely do that. Now, kids that leave here and go into the public school system, oftentimes we don't even know where they are. I was not aware where he finished out last year. And guys, that's the big question. You want to know what rock to look under. Where did this kid finish his semester grades last year? That to me is the ultimate question, because he does not have completed grades from us.
Okay.
And I don't know. I've not listened to all the sports talk, and I don't know what Clay Chalkville is saying, but I've heard they've been saying that he finished with us. And that is not the case.
And that should have raised another red flag, should it have not?
Huge red flag.
That's what he said earlier, is that should have been the first red flag
that
they looked at and said, this is what's going on with this child. Well, I mean, it's an interesting story, and I hate it for the kid, and I hate it for all the other kids who are potentially suffering, are going to go through something based on the fact that they had nothing to do with any of this. And it does look vindictive by one school to another. And that's my hardest deal with this. I just think if they would have reported it early on and said, this is what we think, and gone to the AHS, whatever it is, AA, and said, look, here it is, and at least that point in time they could have done what they needed to do. They could have suspended the kid, and then the kids would not have been affected by it the way they are right now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Carl, you're at a private institution, and you just mentioned 100% of the kids that have gone there have gone on to college. So there's a reason kids make a choice to go to that school.
Exactly.
And we were talking about back in the days when we were growing up, there was not a whole lot of thought of, well, let me go over to this other school. They've got a better athletic program, so I'm going to make a move. We're going to go over there. But it is a viable option for a lot of kids to get in a better situation. Well, academically, athletically, right. There's a lot of different things. Are we just at a time in this part of our society that it's an inherent problem with the opportunities that are there for kids?
Well, that's well said, and what you said, Al, is key here. Where I grew up, Jay, I'm a graduate. I'm a Hewitt-Trussville graduate, class of '89. So shout out to the Huskies. I grew up in Trussville, and the school system was a good school system. One of the great injustices in our culture, based on what you make in your zip code, you're probably relegated, if you're lower middle class, you're relegated to a failing school system. That's why Restoration Academy exists. It's an affordable option for families that are relegated to failing public school systems. Most lower middle class families, including my own, I live in Fairfield, and my kids go to Restoration Academy. Don't have that option. Don't have a private Christian school option simply because they can't afford it or the school is not in their community. That's why Restoration Academy is in Fairfield and is that option for families so that injustice can be made right. And we are at a time, Al, that is very crucial in our culture where we're losing kids. They're falling through the cracks because they're not alternatives for them.
Carl, we appreciate your time and clarifying a lot of the information out there, and best of luck to you and your school.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.